Hello guys and welcome to the channel. On Friday we had NFP, and the same day we had NFP we also had Canadian dollar employment change. And as you guys know, when it comes to fundamentals, I have three strategies that you can use to make money from fundamentals, which are we have the Straddle Strategy. It is already there. We have the Straddle Strategy, the Directional Buyer Strategy, and the Godlove Correction Strategy. All right, the Godlove Fundamental Correction Strategy. So each of these strategies is having its own set of rules which you are supposed to follow, and the same and they are also having their own conditions which you are supposed to follow. All right, so talking about the new trading strategy, on Friday we used the Straddle Strategy to make money on gold. Then after that, because you use the Straddle Strategy or the Directional Buyer Strategy before the news is released, even after the news is released, I have another strategy that can still enable you to trade after the news has been released, which is known as the Godlove Fundamental Correction. Remember, I say fundamental correction because you are trying to trade the correction in the market. So talking about the Straddle Strategy, there is already a video on that I uploaded. That was on Friday, immediately after the news. I uploaded a video on the Straddle Strategy, which we made almost about 3,000 something trading NFP. After the NFP news, I went back into the market, and since we had NFP and Canadian dollar employment change happening on the same day, I didn't see opportunities, or I didn't see setups that could enable me to trade the correction on NFP. So I went to the Canadian dollar employment change, and I saw very good setups because the Canadian dollar employment change was also very volatile, and because the movements were high, it means there were potential correction opportunities in the market. So I went into the market and I was looking for a very good reversal and a correction setup, and I found a couple of setups, and I decided to take my trade on Great Britain Pound CAD. So as you can see on my screen, this is Great Britain Pound CAD, and if we go even to investing.com, let me go to investing.com. Okay, let me just go. You can see here I'm on investing.com. This is where I read all my news. This is where I get all my fundamentals. So if I have to go under the calendar to filter, because that was Friday the 3rd, right? So I just click on the 3rd. I want just Friday the 3rd, and I click on apply. So let's see. You can see this is Friday, and here we had NFP. We had NFP, and we had unemployment rate for the Canadian dollar. We had employment change for the Canadian dollar at the same time. All right, so the NFP was the one we used for the Straddle Strategy, and employment change for the Canadian dollar was the one we used for the Godlove Correction Strategy. So they were released at the same time, and immediately after the Straddle Strategy, you can see the news was released. Let me just go back. The news was released somewhere here. All right, the news was released somewhere here. And since this chart is selling, it means the news was positive for the Canadian dollar, because remember, this is Great Britain Pound CAD, and since the Canadian dollar is a secondary currency, it means if the Canadian dollar is positive, or if there's news that makes the Canadian dollar to be stronger, then this chart is going to be instead going down, since the Canadian dollar is a secondary currency. And you can see what happened. See what happened within seconds. Within minutes. The market dropped for almost about 60 pips within 5 minutes. The market dropped for about 60 pips. Good. That was the Straddle Strategy. Even though I didn't trade the Straddle Strategy on this one, I didn't trade the Straddle Strategy on this pair. Straddle Strategy, I traded it on gold, right? But the fundamental strategy, after the market dropped for almost about 60 pips, I came back here and I saw a potential opportunity that, okay, I could trade the reversal. So I was just looking for a reversal to enter in the market. The strategy is already there. If you haven't watched the Fundamental Correction Strategy, please go back and watch the strategy. I won't be going into the strategy here. So I was just looking for a reversal signal, and I got into the market, all right? Remember, today was also another major news on the Canadian dollar. Guys, see something. For the Godlove Fundamental Strategy, the news is already released. On NFP, you can see the position. We are still looking for a potential reversal sign to be able to trade the correction. Let's go to the Canadian dollar, because remember, today we also had the Canadian dollar employment change. And let me just put this so that we can be able to see what happened on the Canadian dollar, right? Let me just put this here. Let's go back to the website. You can see on the Canadian dollar was positive. You can see Canadian dollar was positive, meaning if we are using the Canadian dollar and JPY, we are expecting the chart to be going up. So we'll expect the chart to go up as soon as the news was released. So let's go back to MT5 to confirm if the same thing happened. Let's go to Canadian JPY to confirm if the chart actually went up. That is my account balance there, guys. You can see we've already made our money. Our position was already closed within 2 seconds. Within 2 seconds, we were already closed on that position. Now let's see Canadian dollar JPY. Let's check on Canadian dollar JPY. You can see here we have Canadian dollar JPY. So let me go to the lower time frame. Let's go to the lower. Guys, you can see, can you see this? This is where the news was released and the market has been pumping up ever since. You can see. This is where the news was released. Very, very clear. The news was very positive for the Canadian dollar, right? Canadian dollar, you can see here we have green. That is the news. The news there is green, meaning the chart, any chart that has the Canadian dollar as the first currency is going to be going up. And any chart that has the Canadian dollar as the secondary currency is going to be going down. Let me show you another example. Let's go to Great Britain Pound CAD. You will see the chart will actually be going down. All right, or the chart actually went down when the news was released, because this is where the news was released, and you see the market went off. So I'm going to be using our Godlove Fundamental Correction Strategy on instead the Canadian dollar JPY, because I can see there's a reversal signal forming anytime soon. After this, I'm just expecting the market to retest, give me a reversal sign, and boom, I'm going to enter in the market and I try to trade the correction. All right, good. So let's see. Let's go back here. Let's go back here. Let's go to Great Britain Pound CAD, and you will be able to see that the market actually dropped immediately the news was released. Guys, see something. This is not magic. This happened all the times. You can see this is the candle where the news was released. That is exactly at 3:30. The market dropped immediately. Any currency pair that has the Canadian dollar as a first currency will be going up, like Canadian dollar JPY. I think Canadian dollar JPY is the other currency pair that has the Canadian dollar as the first currency. So any other one that has the Canadian dollar as a secondary currency, the chart, you expect the chart to go down as soon as the news was released. So now, either on GDP CAD or on Canadian dollar JPY, I'm looking for any reversal signal that I see that I can be able to jump into this trade. That is where I'll be able to jump in so that I can trade the fundamental correction, which states that after every major news event, after every major impacted news event in Forex, there's a high chance or a high probability that the market is going to retrace back to the trigger point. You can see here we have our trigger point somewhere here. This is where we have our trigger point, and we are expecting that the market might come back to that particular level. All right, so let's reduce the size of the line. We are expecting that the market will be able to come back to this particular level. So we are just looking for an entry point, and from here to here we still have about 41 pips to go. So we are still waiting for a small retracement to see if the market is going to give us any signal to enter into this trade. Good, so that is what we are just waiting. So any signal, we can have a signal on Great Britain Pound CAD or on Great Britain Pound or on CAD JPY. Anywhere we have a signal to enter on the opposite side of the trade, we're going to be able to enter. All right, so let's just wait and see. Okay, guys, so coming to our Godlove Fundamental Correction Strategy, you can see we are still looking for a potential sell signal because we are predicting that the market might be retracing back to this level. There's a high probability that the market might be retracing back to this level, and we are still looking for a potential sell signal to get into the market. Any sell signal we have, we're going to be getting into the market. We haven't had anyone yet, although here we almost had a bullish engulfing candle. So if I'm entering in the market, my take profit is going to go at 25 pips and my stop loss is going to go on 15 pips. So we can get into the market at this point, or let's just wait for a couple of pips to see if we're going to have another potential sell signal. All right, we already had an engulfing candle here. This was a full engulfing candle. We would have entered, stop loss, take profit, but let's just wait and see. Let's go back to Great Britain Pound CAD and see what is happening. Let's go back to Great Britain Pound CAD. On Great Britain Pound CAD, you guys can see there's a potential double bottom forming anytime soon. So if we can have a double bottom sign anytime soon here. If we can have a double bottom, then we're going to be buying anytime soon, and our take profit will be going at around 48 pips, stop loss around 20 pips, risk to reward of 1:2. The same strategy, the same explanation. So let me just check on the hour time frame to see. Good. You can see on the hour time frame we are on a potential support. So now I think we should be waiting. We should be looking to instead take the trade on Great Britain pound CAD. Any sell signal I have, I'm expecting a bullish engulfing candle here, or 3Y soldier, or maybe a hanging man. Any reversal signal I have, other price action or candlesticks pattern, I'm going to be getting into the trade. Good. I'm just waiting. Let's be patient for a couple of minutes to see how it goes. Let's wait for a couple of minutes to see how it goes. You guys already know the principle behind this strategy. Whatever goes up must come down. It's the same thing in trading. Whenever there is a major fundamental news in Forex and there is an imbalance between demand and supply, there is, no matter what happens, there must be an equilibrium where demand and supply come. So if you know what they call a demand and supply curve, a demand curve goes like that and a supply curves go like this. So it becomes a point where you must have that equilibrium in the market. So no matter whether you like it or not, there's a high probability that after a major news event, the market must retrace back to the trigger point. This is where the news was released somewhere here, and the trigger point was right here. All right, the trigger point was right here. The trigger point was right here. We're just looking for any buy signal. You can see a double bottom is forming. You guys can see very clearly a double bottom is forming. The potential double bottom is forming very clearly. That is a double bottom forming. So let's just wait. I'm waiting for a buy signal so that I can buy. And this is Great Britain pound CAD. If it was CAD JPY, then I would have been looking for an opportunity to sell. So let's go back to CAD JPY to see what is happening. This is CAD JPY. We haven't had any reversal signal as of now. So I'm so bullish on Great Britain pound CAD. So let's go back to Great Britain pound CAD. This is where I'm very bullish. Good. So if we can have like a big pull, we can have like a big candle pulling up from this particular level, then you can see that is a potential double bottom. And anytime you see double bottom on the downtrend, that is a potential reversal signal. So I'm just waiting to see, guys. You can see momentum is actually dying off. Momentum is actually dying off at this level. So you can see momentum is actually dying off. You guys can see this. You guys can see. Good. At the close of this candle, I think I'm going to be getting into the market. And if I get into the market at this level, my stop loss is going to be going somewhere here. My stop loss is going to be going at around 20 pips, since I'm going to be targeting about 47 pips. 20 pips, and I'm going to be targeting about 47 pips. So let's see how it goes. I'm still waiting to get a sign. I'm still waiting for a sign. Good. You can see that is a potential sign for me. The battle is fierce, guys. The battle is fierce. So, guys, I'm going to be getting in anytime soon, and this is still a leverage. I'm still going to be leveraging the account. So let me go back to the same website. I'm going to be using the same account, of course. So here, I'm going to be using just 11 at this point. I'm going to be using 11. So good, guys. You can see that is it. That is a potential buy signal. So I'm buying. There you go. I just press on buy. That is 11 lot in place, and the market is already ticking. Let's put our buy stop and our sell stop in place. All right, let's put our buy stop and our sell stop. You can see the market is pulling down, but that happens most of the time. The market pulls down for about 25 pips before we know that, okay, this wasn't a good trade. So let's see. Let me just put my buy stop. So my buy stop is going to go somewhere here, because that is where the news was triggered at 44 pips. That is at 1.7012. Take profit. Let's just put 400. 400 is the same as 40 pips, right? So you can see that is it. Then let's go to stop loss and put 25 pips. Stop loss, let's put 25 pips. Stop loss 25 pips, which is the same as 250 points, and we confirm. There you go. We have our buy stop and our sell. No, we have our stop loss and our take profit in place, and we are already in a trade on the fundamental correction strategy. You guys see, we already make money during the news. That is what I used to call the 3-leg system of trading. We already make money during the news where we're trading the non-farm payroll. You guys saw that already. We made money already during the news on the fundamental on the straddle strategy. Now coming back to the Godlove Fundamental Correction Strategy, you can see that is already a trade in place. We are down with $300, and we are expecting the market to pull back to this particular level. As soon as the market starts going up and giving us higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, we're going to be trailing our stops, because this is news trading and anything can happen. All right, so let's just wait and see if we're going to be cashing some pips on the fundamental correction strategy. All right, so let's just wait and see, and let's make sure we give our trade room to breathe. This is news, and we need to be able to give our trade room to breathe. I want to be able to stand 25 pips from the current market price. There you go. That is 25 pips. Let me push it up a little bit. Good. So for the straddle strategy, you guys have seen this very clearly. This is not magic. I always like to show you guys these examples on a live account so that you guys can always implement what I teach you guys on the strategies on your demo account. The risk disclaimer, please. The risk disclaimer. Make sure you try these strategies on your demo account until when you feel comfortable before you can use your hard-earned money. The fact that it works for me doesn't mean it's going to work for you. All right, this is years upon years upon years of practicing how to trade the market using this strategy, because I discovered all this strategy. You won't see any of these strategies on the internet. So make sure you practice these strategies on a demo account as much as you can before you can use your hard-earned money, either the directional bias, the straddle strategy, or the Godlove Fundamental Correction Strategy. We are already done with the straddle strategy, and we made almost about $3,200. Now we are still back in the market, and we want to see if we can make some more money. We can look for more money on the correction in the market. We want to see if we can be able to cash a correction in the market.
6.5 hours later.
Hello guys, it's been about 3 hours into our correction trade, and here you can see just like I told you guys earlier, we are still on Great Britain pound CAD. You can see, and we got in here, and we are trying to get a correction of about 41 pips. Yes, of about 41 pips. So what I did, you can see we have just about 15 pips to go, and our take profit will be hit. So that is the Godlove Fundamental Correction, because we are trying to trade the correction after a major news. This is the major news that pushed the market right down. All right, this is the major news that pushed the market right down. Then after that, we are trying to look for a correction to get into the trade. We are trying to look for a correction to get into the trade. We got in a little bit earlier. This is where the reconfirmation of a reversal signal came in when we had a triple bottom. All right, this is where the reconfirmation came in. We had the first bottom, the second bottom, the third bottom. This is where we're supposed to get in, but we got in a little bit earlier because this is NFP. We're trading. Remember, we're trading the correction for Canadian dollar employment change. All right, so we got in a little bit earlier. But after the formation of this reversal signal down here, I understood that, okay, that was the new reversal point, and I had to readjust my stops. And even if I have to step down to the 1 hour time frame, see something. This is what the market makers will do deliberately. If you see here, you will see we had a key level somewhere here. Can you see this? We had a key level somewhere here throughout in the market. We had this key level. So what happened somewhere here? This area is what we call stop loss hunting. Market makers knew very well that many people were going to have their stop losses here. So see what happened. They pushed the market, break this structure to form what we call a false breakout. And after that, what happened? This bullish engulfing candle. So this is a clear reversal signal on the 1 hour time frame. So with that, I had to readjust my stop losses from here about 10 pips a little bit down to this other position. And that is why I'm still in a trade. If I have to go back to my 1 minute time frame, you can see my take profit will be taken anytime soon. I just have about 13 pips to go, about 15 pips to go, and my take profit will be take. You can see here, this is the same account, this is the same live account. The balance here is 14,000. Remember, we started at 11,000. The first leg of trading, we made almost about 3,000 with NFP. Then after that, the Godlove Fundamental Correction. Remember, we had 2 news events today, so I had to now go to the Canadian employment change to look for a correction, because that was still another major news event. And you can see we got in, we got in at the first reversal signal, and we are already up with $2,158. So that's why you can see our equity here is 16,000 something. All right, our equity is 16,000 here, and we started at 11,000. That is almost about 5,000 up for the day. So let's wait to see if before the market, because today is Friday and the market is going to be closing anytime soon. So let's wait to see if the take profit is going to be hit before the market is closed. So there you have it, guys. That is the Godlove Fundamental Correction Strategy. You won't see it anywhere. I told you guys the theory. Now that is the practical part of it on a live account. You can see that is my live account, and I'm showing you the same examples on a live account. Let's see how it's gonna go. I'm gonna keep you guys updated. Peace.
6.5 hours later.
I got into the market, and you can see by the end of the day, this was still on Friday. You can see on Friday that was on 23:42, almost about 11 p.m. That was 11 p.m. my time, where the market is closing on Friday. That is when I hit my take profit. You can see this mark. If you know MT5, that is how they track history on your live account. You can see that is where I got out of the market at 1.7008 or something. And you can see, if you see on the screenshot, that is the same price, the same closing price, and we made almost about 3,000. I don't know, let me just check on my screen to confirm. Good. And we made almost about $3,400. All right, almost about $3,500 on that same trade. So you guys can see it very clearly that if you know what you are doing with trading the news, you can either trade the news before the news is released, or even if you miss the opportunity, or you didn't see good opportunities to trade the news before the news is released, you can come back into the market after the news is released and use the Godlove Fundamental Correction Strategy. It's a meticulous strategy that I've been able to put out there that enables you to still take your trade after the news has been released, because there are a set of rules which, okay, if you see your chart respecting those rules, then you'll be able to take your trade. So you see, you can use the Straddle Strategy or the Godlove or the Directional bias to set your target before the news is released, and even after the news has been released, you can still get into the market and use the Godlove fundamental correction to still make money in Forex trading. So that is the strategy, guys. So you see, only on that strategy alone, only trading the reversal on that strategy alone, I made $3,500, as you can see on the screenshot. That is $3,500. That is the same pair, that is the same price, and on a live account. So only on Friday alone, we made money on NFP, trading NFP using the Straddle Strategy, and after that we came back and we still made money using the Godlove Fundamental Correction Strategy the same day. So making almost about, at the end of the day, making almost about $7,000, as you can see on the screenshot. All right, so thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure, if you want to use the best broker that will allow you to trade the news, that will allow you to implement most of your strategies, make sure you check the link below to use the same broker I use. And if you want to hear from me one-on-one or join my private community, then check the Discord private link below. Check my Patreon link below to be able to join me in Patreon, where you have access to other thousands of members on Discord who are sharing ideas on a daily basis. Make sure you smash the like button on the video. Also watch the videos which I'm going to leave by the end of the screen, which will explain most of this thing to you guys. And till then, I'll see you guys on another video.